Thousands.
Thousands? Just every country?
Tens of thousands.
Over 50, right?
Something like that. 50-something.
Okay, that's awesome. And obviously, you started out with you were out in California, you were training with Jean-Jacques Machado, and then I really think that you sort of transcended what your capabilities were, obviously, with the big win against Toiler Gracie originally. But obviously, you're like the most well-known jiu-jitsu instructor online. How did you get to that point, and was that a vision for you to be able to teach through the internet and sort of grow your culture of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu through the internet?
I would say a lot of that has to do with my friendship with Joe Rogan. You know, so more people come up to me on the street about the podcast. They'll go, dude, I saw you on the podcast. I'm thinking like, my podcast? Go, no, JR. I'm like,
Eddie Robert Radio's
come
yours,
on.
right?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Gotcha.
It's on hiatus right now.
Okay.
But JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience, he told me the other day that he's getting 17 million downloads a month.
Wow.
17 million. That's like cable television.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the top podcasts, period, right?
Yes, I think One Fight Companion, Joe put on his Instagram, that it was the #1 podcast, period.
Okay.
That episode. So people really love MMA talk. Jiu-Jitsu talk too, but when you start talking about MMA, people lose their minds. Don't talk about Tower 7, talk about fucking John Jones or some shit.
Talking about Tower 7, I caught that one, and you were almost essentially able to convince Joe Rogan that 9/11 was an inside job, so congratulations, first off. That is a feat in itself. If you can convince Joe...
He was a conspiracy theorist. He thought 9/11 for sure was an inside job. And then he started to get more on the fence about everything.
Right.
You know
and so you're trying to bring him back over.
He's not a conspiracy theorist, obviously.
Okay.
And but he's not a total skeptic either.
Some people would call him a conspiracy theorist just based on the moon. He didn't at least formally didn't believe in the moon landings. He talked to Neil deGrasse Tyson though. I don't know if Neil changed his mind. Maybe Neil's bringing him over. Maybe that's what it is.
You know, I know Joe got a lot of heat for the moon thing, but
yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a lot of fake video on TV. I mean, is that really that hard to do?
For sure. I don't know.
The #1 thing is like, why haven't we been back? Why don't we have like garages there, like storage and stuff by now? Right? We went 8 times, and then they just scrapped it. And then the rockets that took them there, all safely, they got to the moon and back.
Yeah.
And where's the rockets? Oh, we destroyed them.
Okay.
They destroyed them.
Yeah.
The Saturn V rockets, they don't exist. There's like one like in a museum somewhere.
I gotcha. If you can convince Joe of the Tower 7 stuff, why can't you convince him to go do Metamoris or something? Why doesn't Joe want to roll?
I haven't convinced him to shit, first of all, and you can't convince Joe of anything. Joe believes what he wants to believe, you know. Very hard to, you know. He does his research. You know?
Yeah.
He doesn't, he's got a lot of science to back up what he believes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't believe in Bigfoot no more, though, right?
I don't know. He's letting Chael Sonnen have some leeway with that one. I remember.
Does Chael Sonnen believes in Bigfoot?
Chael Sonnen's 100%.
He believes
in Bigfoot. 100%.
You know what? A lot of people that grew up in the Pacific Northwest, when I go out there and I do seminars, I have my Bigfoot check before the seminars.
Yeah.
It's like, if you believe in Bigfoot, raise your hand. And most of them raise their hands.
I gotcha.
And the ones that didn't, if you talk to them, they really do. Everyone's got stories of Bigfoot.
I don't believe in Bigfoot. You believe in Bigfoot?
Is it possible that there's no...
It's possible.
Is it possible?
It's possible that, you know, all the religions are correct also. I think it's possible that a lot of things are possible. But is it plausible? Is Bigfoot plausible?
Plausible. I like that word. I should have used that word on Joe Rogan's podcast. Plausible. Because he kept saying, you know, it looks like a demo, you know, but I don't know anything about demolitions. I'm not
you were saying like a detective. You were saying look at it like a detective. Well, that's how you have to look at everything. That's how Joe looks at religion. That's how, you know, you should probably look at you through your whole life through that lens, right?
Yeah.
Instead of seeing...
We're just having a discussion.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not saying I know anything.
Right.
I'm just saying you got a bunch of fucking gangsters.
Right.
You tell me these gangsters are... They even skeptics believe they're gangsters.
No.
That's the crazy thing.
Halliburton
Skeptics believe they're gangsters.
Yeah.
But oh no, they wouldn't get that gangster.
Right.
They wouldn't get that gangster, but they are gangster when they talk to their friends. The government's fucking evil, man, and all this. And do you think 9/11 was an inside job? No, they would never do that.
Right.
They would never do that.
People just turn it off, sort of, in their head. Not to bring you back to the 9/11 topic.
That's scarier than the actual conspiracy theory.
Right.
Like,
human nature
there's
with that.
people out there that you can show them evidence. That's all they say is evidence. That's all they say is science. But then when they see it, they can't believe it. Like, no, I believe this science. I read this over here. I believe that. But that's a government science. It's a science.
Right.
They had it on CNN. Whoa.
I see.
You know, that's scary.
Yeah. No.
That's scarier than the buildings blowing up.
Right.
That's like some kind of like mass hypnotism. You're talking to someone and they're like, like I said on the podcast, can you imagine if none of those videos of Tower 7 collapsing like a controlled demo, none of them no one saw them until like 10 years later?
Right. Sure.
The impact they would have crazy impact.